Welcome to Made for More podcast, where faith and personal growth converge. I'm Julia, and I'm honored to guide you on a journey of empowerment and transformation alongside our occasional co-host, Omar. We are passionate believers and advocates for unlocking your God-given full potential. Join us as we explore the intersection of faith, life, business, and relationships, igniting a fire within to embrace the truth that your life is destined for greatness. Together, we'll uncover strategies, insights, and stories that inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. Get ready to embark on a fulfilling quest towards personal and professional fulfillment, guided by faith and the unwavering belief that you, my friend, are made for more. Hello. This is an unplanned podcast episode. I actually had an episode planned, and I'm not sure when I'm going to drop this one, but I just feel like it's needed. Like, maybe it's just needed for me. Maybe I just need to get it off my chest so I can feel good and I can move on. But I just want to say, when it comes to my podcast, when it comes to my services, when it comes to my businesses and products I offer, I just do it from my most authentic place, the best I can. And on top of that, I'm not going to get it always right. Like, I'm going to do things messy because I believe in imperfect action and doing your best at that time. So even when it comes to my programs or coaching, like, life happens. Like, I think people forget, like, I'm still a human and I still have things that could come up. I, for the most part, do my best to honor that. But even in my programs, I'm like, oh, I want to get this done and this done. And then, a curveball will hit. And not to say to give myself those excuses, because I get it. Like, we all have those excuses, right? But how many of you guys can relate to that in life? Like, you can relate this to, like, your day. How many of you start your day like, I'm going to get this done and this done and this done, or I'm going to have such a positive day, like, and you're in such a good mood, and then a curveball happens or something just kind of, comes out of nowhere and it just totally affects your day, or you're not as productive, or it's just the worst day ever, right? Because it's life and we're not perfect and we can't always predict things. But what I do say is it's all about how you overcome those things, and it's all about who you are. So I know I'm like, oh, I'm behind on this, or, oh, I didn't do that. But I know I need to still get that done. I know I'm going to make that commitment. I know I'm going to reschedule that coaching call and it's going to happen. Or I know I'm going to still do that Facebook Live in my Faith+Freedom+Flow group, even if it wasn't on that scheduled date. Like, give yourself grace and give other people grace, because it's better for people to be able to operate in a space of happiness, in a space of peace, and, like, their mind's not all rattled, because then you're going to get the better version of them anyway, right? Like, that's really important. So I want to say that, but also I think it's so interesting because I was thinking back to a situation, and something that I talk about in Faith, Freedom, Flow is, and again, I'm not a master at this by any means, but circumstances happen. Like, it's a thing, it's a fact. If it's raining, that's a fact, right? It's raining, that's a circumstance. What do I think about that is how I act upon that. When it's raining, I'm in a bad mood because it's not sunny outside or whatever, right? Some people are like, when it's raining, I'm in a good mood. I love the way it sounds. And then I'm actually more productive. And that's my actions that I take. So circumstances, it doesn't matter what it is. They happen all the time, all around us. It's what we choose to believe and think and do about them. So when it comes to me and my brand and who I am going to push that out. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, I do a lot of things, and who I am and what I do, and Julia Keeps It Real is my overall brand, right? It's about what I can provide through my podcast, what I can provide through Faith, Freedom, Flow, what I can provide through my products I offer people, what I can provide through my one-on-one coaching. So when I'm sending out information and marketing, it might be a little bit of mix of everything, because that's who I am. So essentially, when you're subscribing to my podcast, you're subscribing to me and all of me and who I am. You're going to hear me talk about some Jesus. You're going to hear me talk about some battles I've gone through. You're going to hear me cry while I'm pouring my heart out to you. When you subscribe to my email list, you're going to get my coaching stuff, even if you are just interested in my products. If you're just interested in Faith, Freedom, Flow, you're going to get stuff about my one-on-one coaching. Like, that's who I am. So if you're in business, I highly recommend you figure out who you are and what your business is and what you do. And you don't have to limit yourself. So when people come to me with that mindset that it has to be like all or nothing or one way or like categorize, I don't have time for that, to categorize everybody and send 5 emails to all these different people. And I know plenty of people that are millionaires. I follow literally millionaires, and I follow their podcast, but they're talking to me about their Q Club, or they're talking to me about some trip thing that they earn with their company, because it's who they are and it's their business. So when I subscribe to Gina DeVee is an example I can give you. When I subscribe to Heather Shriver Burns, when I subscribe to, gosh, the list goes on. I can't even think of everybody on top of my head, but I know so many people that put everything in one because it's who they are and who their brand is. When I'm subscribing to those people, I know I'm going to get, I maybe came for one thing, but I'm going to get other parts of that. Now, here's the circumstance. This is why I mention this. The circumstance is I get an email. You can choose to think one thing and you can choose to think another. Are you going to choose to say, wow, I don't need all this information. I just want some of it, or I don't want any of it. I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm done. Whatever. Cool. No hard feelings. Or you can say, like I did when I started getting, Destiny Sadler has been on this podcast as well. Shout out to Destiny. When I started getting emails from Destiny about what she's doing in a company that I'm no longer with, I chose to use that circumstance as inspiration. That's the difference. Some of y'all take a circumstance and you take it and you wonder why you're at this ceiling level. You wonder why you can't surpass past certain things. You want to know why? Your mindset. Get your mind right. You want to know why people are out there doing well, and then you're like, why am I still not getting this done, or why am I still not? Mindset. So much of it is your mindset, and you don't think about it because mindset is such a such a buzzword, but really it comes down to when a circumstance happens, what do you think after that circumstance? So that circumstance happened with Destiny, and my mind said, I'm going to use this to learn. I like this. What can I take from this and utilize in my business? I'm not unsubscribing because A, I might be interested in purchasing some of these products, or B, I might be interested in some of the other things she offers. But C, I need to figure out, maybe I should do something similar to this. Maybe I can kind of spin it. And then some people are going to get that email and say, oh, I only signed up for this and I'm getting that, so I'm done. Think about that. I literally have some emails that I'm not probably going to purchase this big $5,000 one-time package from a coach, but I still get emails from them, but I keep thinking I want to level myself up to that, not a $5,000 package, but just essentially that type of level of coaching, that kind of content, and using that as inspiration. So this is a very ramble and rant, but I say all this to say, this is an example, right? But I see this, this is what actually triggered my thought. I see this happen so much in business and so much with women, and everyone gets anxiety and nervous and narrow-minded because you're you think about competition. And when you operate from a space of abundance and you really are just I don't really care what that person's doing or sending or who else is getting the information, because the people that are for me, the people that are coming for me are coming with me. And that kind of mindset is going to attract the people in your life. You want to know how some people are able to go from one company to another company, or season of life to another season of life, and one thing happening, or get knocked down and get picked back up, go from one place to another and rise to the top. One to the place to another, rise to the top. One place to another, and rise to the top. So they operate from a space of abundance. Their mind is on point. So when they look at a circumstance, they're not looking at the scarcity part of that. They're not looking at the bad part of that. They're looking at, how is this good for me? What's good about this? What can I learn? And that's the difference. This is Julia Keeps It Real. Harsh truth for some of you. If this rubs you wrong, it's because you probably needed to hear it. Or maybe you're not for me and I'm not for you. It's that simple. If this rubs you wrong, you're either ooh, gut punch. I get it. I get gut punches all the time when I hear a sermon. I'm like, oh Lord, was that for me? Oh, this pastor, he just hit a button. But that doesn't mean I'm going to unfollow or unsubscribe because he said something real that I needed to connect with and hear. And that I needed to like say like, maybe I do fall short of that. Maybe I do need to work on that. So that's for the people that need to check it a little bit. Look at your circumstance. How can you grow from that? How can you learn from that? How can you use it as inspiration or encouragement, or not? If it's something that's not helping you, if it's something that does bother you, like I'm not going to ever say that I'm amazing and everyone in the world should follow me and join me and partner with me, or I should be their coach, because I'm not for everybody. I know that. And you're not either. So let's all newsflash to ourselves. We're not for everybody, right? I'm one of the first people that can be like, well, this person just rubs me wrong, or this person, like, I don't like this about them, and unfollow, unsubscribe, whatever. Life goes on. Life goes on. So I am human, and I did need to get this off my chest because I don't want it to fester and like one or two unhappy people like get in my mindset for me knowing that what I'm doing works, because I've seen it work for other people, and me knowing that I'm not perfect and I never will be perfect. And I also wasn't thinking like I'm going to go from coaching back to social selling, and not like none of this was planned. But that's how life works. Like so many things happen in life that are unplanned, and you just roll with it. You roll with it, people. So I feel so good, and I feel so much better. I'm about to go work my day. It is obviously, I don't know, like I said, when I'm going to drop this, but it is Mother's Day weekend. So I'm going to go spend some time with my mama and unplug. And that's another thing, is just, again, just taking time to be. And when you feel things are bothering you, like just release it. Just release it and move on. I love y'all.